sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you will have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because you got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you don't want it badder than you want to party, you don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success. You don't want it badder than... I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. I'm not eating like I eat at home. That's why you're about to go to the next level, because if you keep eating like you ate at home, you'll keep being a boy or a girl. It's time to become man, woman.
Hot Facts with Robert Reese. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese, Hot Facts, Gig Economy, Robert Reese, News Channel, the Gig Economy, News Channel, Hot Facts with Robert Reese, Hot Facts with Robert Reese, Hot Facts, Hot Facts, Hot Facts. 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 Hey, with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Hot facts. Hot facts, Robert Reese. Gig Economy, News Channel, Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Sit back, relax, and listen. Come on. Get these hot facts. K Reese 007 for Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Thank you for tuning in. Hot facts, hot facts. Great.
All right, people, we are here. We are here. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. Thought you guys were gonna have me like you know how when you guys watch those live streams and it's just like, dang, I'm on a live stream, but I don't see nothing live, no facial reaction. We here in California. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching Hot Facts for Robert Reese. People, I am the official news channel of the Gig Economy. We got a great show The Blade Vigilante is in the house. What's up, Blade Vigilante? Um, People, we talk about everything here on Hot Facts. This is one of the interviews. The interview starts at 10 a.m. So I said, let me go ahead and hop on early. I can do some self-promotions, do some things like that, give you guys a little bit of the news that has been happening. We do all this stuff here on Hot Facts. We go over everything, no matter what it is, as long as it's gig. Gig meaning you could be a plumber, you can be a writer. You could AC9 says sound is bad. Says sound is bad. Let me see. Can I get a sound check, please? Let me see right here. Mic check, mic check. Let me see right here. Mic check, mic check. Oh, it's a little staticky right now. Yeah, we got with the overcast. Okay, give me one quick sec. Let me try to adjust this. All right. It should be about the same because of all the weather. We got the mountains, we got the overcast, we got everything in there. So I'll just speak slower. There's nothing I can do about where I live. in the mountains. So let me see. I think I got Jeff Thomas Black backstage. Let me see. Go ahead and get him on up here. You should be up there now. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Robert. Am I on the? Am I actually on? Am I on the air? So listen, Robert.
Yeah, you're on the air. I see you.
I'm doing my own show right now, but you tantalized me with this show. Should I switch over to being on this show with you and then broadcast it simulcast on my show? What are we doing here? You said you tantalized me. What are you doing today that's going to be so? You said it was going to be very interesting and exciting to me, so I'm excited. I've been waiting.
Oh yes. Yes, it's gonna be a super great interview. Hold on. Let me go ahead and fix this. Let me fix my sound. Let me fix my sound really quick. Oh, it's gonna be very, very interesting. There's gonna be some things that are gonna be spoken about.
Man. Your audio's rough.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that now. Let me see. Let's switch browsers. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch browsers. Because it probably sounds the same. Let me move myself.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. I guess I can carry the ball for a minute, couldn't I, Robert? So I'm actually broadcasting my own show right now, everyone. At Dash Daily, and we're watching currently the last 20 minutes of Bankless with guest AI safety expert Connor Lake. But I'm multitasking because Robert tantalized me with the idea that he was doing a show that would be exciting to me today. And I need excitement. We're fighting for humanity. So excitement's a great thing. Loving me some excitement.
Natural part of how we function in society. And sometimes it's a huge, massive thing. I understand, but this is like I've talked before about like okay, humanity can't coordinate that well. Can coordinate, but I am willing to make compromises on this. I'm willing to compromise with the government and with my fellow citizens.
Here's what it looks like.
You know, if I go to a country
if you were to tune into the show,
well, I'm there. I'm not going to break them. And this is not just because of like fear of retribution. It's also because of contracts.
Very exciting. You know, it's a great show. Connor Leahy's great. We got in the show notes, everything's in there. I'm thinking maybe Robert switched off to a different stream, and so I'm gonna probably just do same because I don't think he's coming on here. But it's good to see everybody. Surprise, surprise! It's me. I'm over here at check Thomas Black on YouTube if you want to check us out. And I'm going to figure out what Robert's doing. We'll see how we participate. I might end my show or jump in his show or do both shows together. Who knows? It'll be a cavalcade of fun. All right, see you in a few.
All right, now, it might still be choppy. How is it? All right, now, it might still be choppy. How is it? Got some feedback. Let me see. See, this is why I'm glad it starts at 10. Now, let me see.
Hey, Reese, can you hear me? How's it going, everybody?
All right, let me see. Let me see if it goes up and down. Think I hear it all right.
Yeah, it sounds like you're coming through fine
How
now,
choppy
Reese.
is it? It's coming through fine, TFT?
Sounds like it to me right now. Of course, I'm watching it through the StreamYard
All
part,
right.
not the YouTube side.
Okay, so we should be all right. This interview is going to be a great interview. For those of you who don't know, Jeff
I'll jump
hopped
back
in a
out.
little bit and said, "What can be so great?" Jeff hopped in and said, "What can be so great?" Um, man, I'm gonna tell you this. After being able to have an interaction and just a man, an experience to hear something that we don't normally hear, especially here in the United States of America, when it comes down to delivery driving, on how it has to do with the social aspects, on what it has to do with everything. This interview is going to be great. Stay tuned for that. I want to make sure, let me go ahead and flip my page here. People, you know I work with a book. I want you guys to make sure that you check out, okay, the boardroom. Okay, season 1 is complete. We're working on season 2 to have that stuff in on here. It's a great show. It focuses on different gig tubers, gig drivers, people that are 1099s and how they are successful on social media. Make sure you check out the boardroom. Probably the best breakdown that you can possibly get from anybody out there. I also want to go ahead and make sure you tune in to Hot Facts and Eli, the best podcast, hands down. You never know what Eli is going to say. You never know what I am going to say. It just goes like that. Tune in for that. Episode number 9 is tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are both in California. We are both here in the state. Make sure you also check out the interviews. Check those out. All of the who's who in the gig world, they've had a chance to stop by and speak with HotFacts, and check them out. Learn some different things that you never knew about the content creators that you're watching, because you already know HotFacts. He asked those questions. Okay. Now, I want to give some special love out there, and it's a challenge also. Hector, I have a challenge for you. You know, you said yesterday you gave me flowers for that one day. I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to challenge you. Let's make it 2 days in a row. Let's make it 2 days in a row. Let's make it 2 days in a row. In order to create change, Hector, first of all, you never know when it's going to hit you on what your role is. I think we should do 2 days in a row. I think we should do it again. And I think we should, if we do 2 days, let's go 3 days. If we do 3 days, Hector, let's go 4 days. If we go 4 days, Hector, let's go like Booker T, 5-time WCW Heavyweight Championship title holder. I think we could do that. So I want to share a little bit of that love to Hector right there. Thank you so much. And also, Jeffrey is on Move right now. There is a video that I just put up myself before the interview starts. We're going to get into a little bit of news before JP goes ahead and hops on over. I'm going to go to my short section right now, and I just did this video. Now, if you are out there and you want to chime in on this before JP goes ahead and hops on in, I'm going to let you hear exactly what it is. Can you head to my short section, please? Bam. And then let me go ahead and do this. Oh, let me get back here. I made it go. This, that. Bam. Shorts right here. I'm going to let you guys hear the story that I just put out here this morning. It has to do with the delivery driver, and he got a little bit too greedy. Kind of Bud Soda-ish in a way. Check this out. After Robert Reed's people, delivery driver steals 33,000 pounds of frozen chicken. Man, Robert Reed. Hope he ain't black. Hope he ain't black. But he's black. Check this out, though. According to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Christopher Thomas, 55, was arrested on the 25th with value over $10,000 or more. Investigators say that he was supposed to drop off like a lot of pounds of chicken, and it did not get there. Check this out. He was supposed to deliver 41,000 pounds at about $80,000 right there. He showed up with 215 cases, weighing about 8,000 pounds. Authorities say that he stole about $33,000 worth of chickens. Authorities don't know who he sold the chicken to, but chances are the people owning their own food businesses, they came up and they saved money. All right, people. So that was my delivery driver. Oh my goodness, what the hell are you doing? You got $41,000 worth of chicken. No, it was 80,000, but from the 80,000, he stole $33,000 worth of chicken. Now, I got a question for you. What if he is really Robin Hood? What if he has been doing this for a while and he's helping these small mom and pop places stay open because the cost for the food is too high, and that might make their business shut down? No, I'm not saying that that's what he does. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, what if we get the records, we go through the investigation, and we figure out that he's been selling all the chicken to places that could be going down? But what if he's selling the chicken to people that have their own in-home business? They actually put themselves on DoorDash and Uber Eats. because they are a kitchen at home, third-party kitchen, not a restaurant. What if he's selling to people like that, and that's helping them out to where they are getting sales from people on DoorDash? So they are buying stolen chicken to put back out there to have it taste good in your stomach. Now, if that is going on, obviously it's bad. You got $80,000 worth of chicken and damn near 50,000 of it is gone. Like, come on, man. Like you got super greedy. Super greedy. What if he was delivering, let's say, to like an amusement park? You know what I mean? Like a Knott's Berry Farm, or they wanted their chicken and they got it to him. But then again, what if he was doing like a family reunion and somebody's family is just that huge and he was like, oh yeah, I got the chicken. But my thing is, what would make you as a delivery driver risk majority of your load is not going to be in the truck? What happens when the places to where you're supposed to be dropping the chicken off to, they say we never received anything? Was this a suicide mission by this delivery driver? We don't know. I don't know. Give me a sound check, please. We don't know, and I don't know. All right, it's still doing it. It's all right, though. No, it's all good. All right, so we're good, thanks. But it could have been a suicide mission, like he was trying to get himself fired. Jeff Thomas Black says, blame the app slaves. We know that. Like, this happened in Sumter County, right? So that's Georgia, I do believe. Okay, that's Georgia, I do believe. Sumter County is Georgia. You got $80,000 worth of product on your 53-foot long trailer. You drop off almost $50,000 worth of merchandise like it's not there. He says facial recognition gone wrong. Go ahead and check that out right there. And facial recognition is going to be one of the topics that we will be going over. Just for another spoiler alert, that is one of the topics that we will be going over, myself and JP. JP has an interesting story. He comes by way of Venezuela. Okay. He is not well, if you know what's going on with Venezuela in the United States, you can understand some things there. He has traveled here to the States and has gone through a journey that most people probably would never have imagined before they start driving, and why they started to drive. Man, I found huge interest once he was speaking about food, and he's South American. Everyone knows that my wife is South American also. Her father is South American by way of Peru. Her mother is Mexican by way of Mexico. Okay, so she has both sides of Mexico all the way down to South America. And when he was speaking about the different foods and things like that, I knew what he was speaking about. And so we got into a discussion about the different foods, portion sizes, and all these incredible things. And then it got down to, his life. And when it got down to his life, I had to ask him on Necro Getting Bags. I had to ask him there on the spot if he was going to be willing to conduct an interview. Okay. And he said yes. I said, I would like to speak about some things here. And he said he would love to speak about some things. So when he does click on, I want everyone to just show him some love. He's going to be giving insights on different markets all around the United States. should be very interesting, especially for content creators who speak on markets and the content creators that avoid speaking on certain issues that have been brought up here on Hot Facts. Everyone knows that I go ahead and I do my footwork, and I'm always searching for my next story. I'm always searching for the piece of the puzzle from the information that I put out publicly to everyone out there. I'm always searching for uh, someone that can vouch for the information that I'm putting out. And today, you guys are going to get that. So, if anyone out there thinks that this is fake news, I want you guys to know that there is no such thing as fake news from someone that has gone through the full process. What we're going to be
Hey,
speaking about,
Robert.
and coincidentally, the app that you're on, it's your app. It's your app.
Hey, Robert. So
Yeah.
I'm simulcasting. Let's see here. What am I doing? No, so I'm showing on my show. So I need to figure out where in the matrix I am. Where in the matrix? Because I'm showing on my show that article that I just sent to you, and I thought maybe I could read that while you're waiting for your
Yeah,
guest.
yeah, yeah. JP,
Is
the interview
this is a
starts at
huge
10. So
article?
So
It's called.
JP should be on.
Let me pull this up. Okay. All right. And so you should be the people on my stream should be able to see me and this article. This article says it's from Fine Law. This is a legal blog. This is what lawyers read. Racial profiling goes high tech. Facial recognition gone wrong. 6 Detroit police. Sorry. Let me get my glasses and start over. Apologize. I was not really preparing this, but this needs to be read. November 21st, 2023. 6 Detroit City police officers showed up at Portia Woodruff's door one morning to place her under arrest. They had reason to believe that she was the culprit behind a robbery and carjacking that had been caught on camera, and they were convinced that she was the person they were looking for. Ms. Woodruff could either come with them willingly or she could be taken by force. All of this was something of a surprise to Ms. Woodruff. She didn't recall committing any robberies, carjackings, or other felonies for fun. She was also usually too busy with her nursing work and her 2 young daughters to find the time to go into the city and rob strangers. And that sort of behavior wouldn't set a great example for her kids. Excuse me. Oh, and she was 8 months pregnant at the time of her arrest. Well, cravings are very common for people who are in the process of making another person in their bodies. Most of those cravings are for certain foods, not violent crimes. So these lawyers this is Jeff JTB breaking in. These lawyers have a great sense of humor, obviously. Uh, Satire. None of this mattered to the Detroit PD, of course. They had evidence. They'd run the suspect's face through their facial recognition software, you see, and that software identified Ms. Woodruff as the culprit. And it's not like the software could have been wrong, right? Ms. Woodruff was taken to the Detroit Detention Center, detained for 11 hours. Now, this woman's 8 months pregnant, right? They're putting her in a disease-ridden detention center. Those places are disgusting. An 8 month pregnant, unbelievable. Repeatedly about her supposed crimes and finally released on a $100,000 bond after being officially charged with robbery and carjacking. So now, of course, you know that you're getting your face scanned all the time as the criminal class of drivers. So when something goes wrong, they're going to have face scans of you, all you people that are not white and not male, and not white and not male. She was taken to the hospital immediately afterward. The concrete benches that hurt to sit on for so long, and the stress of being wrongfully accused and held for so long had given her panic attacks and spasms and false contractions. She was treated for dehydration at the hospital, and thankfully, she and her baby were recovering. Once Miss Woodruff was released from custody and from the hospital, she was left with a burning question. What the heck was that all about? The answer was as stupid as it was distressing. The Detroit PD's automated facial recognition search for the real suspect had identified Ms. Woodruff as the suspect, and the police decided to arrest the pregnant mother of two based on that ID alone. So, she's lucky she wasn't shot dead in her own house. She's lucky that all the millions of things that could go didn't go wrong, as she was targeted by this artificial intelligence. I told you artificial intelligence is already killing you. I told you it's already killing you. You just don't know all the ways it's killing you. Mrs. Woodruff's is the third case that's been brought against the Detroit PD involving their facial recognition software, and the sixth overall case of people being charged with crimes thanks to faulty facial recognition technology. That doesn't sound like many, but Detroit PD only runs an average of 125 facial recognition searches a year. So that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a huge miss rate, just like the health insurance that they're denying from you based on 90% faulty software. What's more concerning is the single trait that Ms. Woodruff and other plaintiffs of the cases against the Detroit PD, every one of the misidentified people charged with crimes and almost all Detroit PD's 125 yearly searches, you can probably guess what that is if you know about the history of American policing or the problems with current facial recognition technology. For everyone else, here's a hint. Miss Woodward is a woman of color. I knew that was going to happen. I'm very familiar with it. This is it's all racist. It's built in. You're decrepit. You guys are fired from racist technology. It's coming to a close here. Sorry for taking so long, but you guys need to know this. You guys need to know you're in the matrix and it's racist. And so if you're playing in the matrix and you're playing in the racist matrix, you're in big trouble. Technological prejudice. These aren't the first times people have raised the alarm about law enforcement's use of facial recognition technology. There are obvious privacy concerns, of course, but the most tangible problem is one of what you call technological prejudice. Every kind of tech that uses facial recognition software has the same problem, whether we're talking about cell phones, security cameras, or law enforcement equipment. They have an extremely hard time identifying people with darker skin tones. Eh, well, you got people with darker skin tones seem to look alike. I guess they look alike on AI. AI thinks people with darker skin tones just look alike. That's not racist. That's not a problem at all. Just move forward. Just keep moving forward. Move forward. You can cite any number of different reasons why facial recognition technology doesn't work as well on people of color, but none of them are good or even defensible. There are the more innocuous explanations, like arguing current camera technology has a hard time with dark colors and less reflective surfaces in general. That's not offensive at first blush, but it does beg the question of why that technology was used in the first place. You could argue that part of the problem is a bias in the images used to train the algorithms. It's fairly well known that tech companies' data sets skewed toward images of people with lighter skin. So it stands to reason that the resultant technologies would be better at identifying light skinned people. That makes some sense, but it begs a very different question. If it's a known issue, why in the name of Steve Jobs hasn't it been rectified? Well, that's a real great question, isn't it? That's a real great question. Coming up to the article here. Finally, we get to the least defensible and most upsetting reason of all. Law enforcement facial recognition tech relies on those same algorithms, but it checks against mugshot databases and other law enforcement repositories. In other words, it's been codified that you are criminals. If you are a person of darker skin color, it has literally been codified in you criminal databases that you are in a criminal class. That's what I mean when I say criminal class. You're in big fucking trouble right now. Black faces are underrepresented in the training data. They're vastly overrepresented in the images law enforcement checks against. See the problem? You see the problem? And they know they're doing this. This is not a new problem. They just do this. They just do this. In other words, they're choosing from databases full of images they haven't been adequately trained to recognize, leading to false positives, mistaken identities, and pregnant mothers being locked up for stuff they didn't do, which is dangerous. That's endangering somebody's life in many, many ways to lock people up for something they didn't do. Jails and being arrested are very dangerous places and things to do. It's not somewhere you want to be. The jails are disease ridden. The last place you'd ever want a pregnant mother is in the jail, in a holding cell. Miss Woodruff's baby was born healthy and happy, thank God. The charges against her were dropped about a month after being filed. Oh, only a month. It only took a month to drop the charges. She filed a lawsuit against the city of Detroit for wrongful arrest, and it seems a clear-cut case. It's anyone's guess whether things will actually change. But one thing's for sure, Ms. Woodruff will have her day in court and she will be heard. Well, isn't that fucking wonderful for all the victims out there that she will have her day in court and they will be heard? Well, how about that, Robert Reese? Was that just a humdinger or what?
Man, you think you hear everything, and then you hear something else, and then
No, man, we ain't heard
you
nothing
think,
yet.
well, this is it, and then you hear something else, and then you think that's it, and then you hear something else. It's crazy how it works, man. It's crazy how it works. It's crazy how it works. But a whole month, a whole month. That's a lot of days before anything. You got to wait a whole month, also. Come on now. Let me
Here's
see
the
this
problem,
real
Robert,
quick.
is that we are the people being sacrificed. The app slaves, the people that are doing this kind of work, they sacrificed our jobs. They put us into fake marketplaces in a simulation. They gave us simulations for police for policing our communities. They gave us simulations for applying for jobs. We weren't even applying for real jobs. They were just weeding us out. They gave us simulations for health insurance that just literally denying us medical care. All of these things are literal facts. Like, how many guns would have to be pointed at your head, Robert, right now before you'd be convinced somebody might be trying to fucking kill you? If, like, I had 3 guns pointed to your head, that'd be pretty bad. But if I like had 8 guns pointed to your head, you'd be positive one of them was going to pull that trigger and kill you. That's where we sit today as app slaves, is that every single gun is now pointed to our head. And it is without time for us to rise up, as Super Deep Arizona Jeff talked about, as I've spoken about, as other people talk about. It's time to log out from these apps, take our business cards. And the reason to do it now is they're coming up to the holidays. We got to put these fuckers out of business. Uber, DoorDash, all of them out of business, and all the sellouts of the corporate shills pulling us into death and genocide, like Pedro and all these other losers. If they're not talking about AI, they have no reason to be on YouTube anymore. We need to make sure that nobody ever listens to them about their payday loans or their stupid gig app advice about being app slaves. If they're not talking about AI and the risk to humanity, then they're not doing the job. And that goes for the rideshare guy, that goes for rideshare rodeo, that goes for Kim and Zach and everybody else. The only subject to talk about now, I'm declaring it right now, Robert, this is fucking war. The only subject to talk about is saving humanity and fighting back and talking about what is real in the gig economy, which is AI fleecing us and driving us to zero. Anybody else is a traitor to the human race. I'm talking to you, fucking Pedro. I'm talking to you, fucking Pedro. You fucking sellout. Who puts up there another one of his rage porn videos and then says it's for entertainment purposes only. What, you're entertaining us while we're being murdered by AI, Pedro? You fucking race trading dipshit. I mean, this is ridiculous, Robert. These people are down with traitors to the human race. I'm calling them out. Every fucking one of them. The rideshare guys, Sergio, Chris, every one of you fuckers. Zach, Tim, every one of you fuckers. It's war now. It's worn out. You guys are leading people to slaughter, man. You're on mute, Robert. You're on mute, and I'm raging like a motherfucker. But I'm calling you out, you bastards. I'm calling every one of you fuckers out. Justify your existence. Justify your existence to the people if you're selling them out to AI. Because nobody's going to change these algorithms.
No, I
Nobody
said Jeff.
understands them.
I said
Lying to
Jeff. Let's just use their names because I want this to be a green under my monetization. I don't want it to go to yellow, which means that certain ads won't be able to be placed on this live. So let's just use their names and don't go into the all the other stuff. I want to be able to have this as a green show as far as monetization. So I gotta so let's I know you don't like Pedro, you know what I mean, but let's try to let's try to not to go into all that other. Yeah. Slim says, how are you doing, Hot Facts? Well, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, Slim, and just waiting on JP. Jeff Thomas Black just got done going over an article.
Oh, so and, I'm my own show. Hey, brother, I'm gonna log out, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing with my own show. And but I assume your guest is coming up here soon. I just wanted to keep you company. I'll be back. I'll be watching you.
All right.
I'll simulcast over here. Okay.
All right. So people, that was Jeff Thomas Black. One thing about Jeff Thomas Black, he's passionate about what he does. And I mean super passionate to where he just goes all the way up in there. And Pedro DoorDash Santiago is a soft spot for this gentleman here. So he goes in, but I'm trying to have this episode here be a full green as far as when you are a monetized channel for the ads and the right type of ads to be on that video. It'll show a green $sign. If it's ad suitability, it's going to show a yellow, or if your settings aren't right, it might look orange. And then you have a red. Red means that it's not being monetized. It could be in a certain region of the world where the copyrights are not cleared. It could be that another owner owns whatever else it is, and they say that they want to make the money based upon what it is going on your channel, or you could just be red because you stole the whole thing. So I would like mine to be in the green. Yeah, Jeff was killing it. No, he was doing that. He was doing that, but you got to understand when Jeff goes in on Pedro, people, he's going in, and he's going all the way in. He's going all the way in. So we're just waiting on JP. I know I don't have him blocked or anything, so he should be able to. I let him know that the link is going to be up there for you. Went ahead and picked this time, so you guys can go ahead and get it right. I'm very interested in this interview, and there's a lot of information that is going to be coming out as soon as he gets here that a lot of you guys are going to be like, hold up. Like, we know it. We talk about it. We speak about it. But at the same time, you don't want to know about it. So, yeah, buddy. So what we will do in this time is I will go back and redo my if Bud Soda is watching right now, I'll go ahead and redo my my proposal for you. But so the option 2, no giggity Matt, no clout, has already hit me up and said he's fully in with option 2 if Bud Soda is okay, because he knows he's not lying about anything. On the other end, Bud Soda, I extended the opportunity for you to explain from your side and try to clear your name by yourself. But option 2 was to have Matt, for those of you who don't know, no giggity, no clout. He would have to go about questions that you have. So if you are listening, Bud Soda, if you are listening, Bud Soda, that is what I have proposed for you. That came by way of Brandon Diaz, and it is what it is. Somebody said JP. They said JP. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that up there. Cruising Dasher said, if I'm going to war, I want JTB on my side. Yeah, JTB is gonna be the person that is gonna be upfront, um, vocally and everything. Bud Soda is at the giveaway right now. Oh my goodness. Bud Soda is at the giveaway right now. Neck Row Getting Bags has said, oh, this even makes it even make wow. All right. Someone that tried to cheat everybody else out of getting the giveaway money is now in the section of the giveaway. Necro, if that is accurate, give me a thumbs up so we can make sure that that is factual coming from here on Hot Facts. Or if it was a joke, just let me know. I think it was a joke because you got that emoji and Jeffrey did not kick you out. So I'm thinking that is a joke right there. But if Bud Soda is over at that giveaway, shame on him. Shame on him. I ain't never seen someone try to rob the Salvation Army and then go back up in there like, yeah, it was me. Yeah, Necro said I'm joking. Yeah, Necro said I'm joking. Let's go ahead and see. We got a click right here. But Soda, you better not be lurking in there to see who wins, so that you can stalk them also. Let me see. Go ahead and hit this up. How's it going?
Yo. Let me see. Let me switch that. All right, here we are. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, people. Yes, I got you. Without further ado, people, we got JP in the house. We got JP in the house, and man, we had a really great conversation. I enjoyed it so much, and I'm glad that you were able to make it on this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It's kind of chilly down here.
Oh yeah, it's chilly over here too. We have that bone piercing wind and cold right now, so it's really cold there. You got the welcome aboard from my wife. She says, "Welcome, JP." That's her right there. Um, Man, I let them know. I gave a brief introduction of what we may be speaking about. Let them know that you are by way of Venezuela, South America. You're doing the DoorDash, you're working the Uber Eats, you're getting, and one of the things from the conversation that we had the other night on Necro Getting Bags is how you ended up becoming a DoorDash driver, and I would like for you to go over that right now, so that can be the intro of how we're gonna get into this interview here. Can you let everybody know first of all, introduce yourself, let them know your name, and then go into how you actually ended up becoming a DoorDash driver.
Well, I guess everyone pretty much know who I am because I've been around here and there. I'm JP. I'm in the Jacksonville, Florida market, Northeast Florida, which is, I will say, it's a different market than the South Miami, even Tampa market. It's this area. It's a little different. It's more, I will say, more American and less Latin compared to what you feel in down south in Florida. Now, the reason why I ended up here in Jacksonville, it's a family thing. I decided to leave Venezuela because of the political and economical situation that was going on over there. And also, well, pretty much Venezuela it's under a fake dictatorship nowadays. So I do not condone that. I thought that my family deserved a better future, so we decided to come over here and see. For example, as a Venezuelan, just to let everyone know a little bit about how the migration process is for a Venezuelan, which is similar to specific other countries like Nicaragua, like Ukraine right now, like Afghanistan has been in the past too, which are specific countries that the US says citizens from this country can apply for an asylum and be protected in the States due to the conditions of their countries, right? So I came to the States as a tourist and decided to apply for asylum here with my family. So as soon as you apply for asylum, in my case, you have to wait 150 days before you even get a job authorization card, which is not a green card, but it's a job authorization card. But mind that you have to be 150 days figure out how you're going to survive because you cannot legally work, right? So during that time that I really I needed to feed my family, like everyone else. I had back in the day in 2018, December 2018, when I came here, all I had was 2 kids, a wife, and $3,000 in my pocket. That's all I had left after selling my cars for pennies. Well, my house, I didn't sell that because I didn't want to sell that back home. But for example, if I want to sell my house right now in Venezuela, I will get maybe $10,000. So why will I do that? We all know $10,000 is not going to get you anything here. Like, talking about real estate. But anyways, back to the point. The thing is that I came to the US originally for the first time back in 2000. I went to college in the University of South Alabama. That was, well, we were talking about it. That was quite an experience. You can imagine a Venezuelan that pretty much learned how to speak English by playing video games back in the 80s, which is, we didn't have pretty much audio, so you had to type in everything. So that's how I learned English, how to write English. I thought I knew how to speak English, but when I was in Alabama, I figured that I didn't know how to speak English because the Alabama accent, it's criminal, man. For a foreigner, it's criminal, bro. Yeah, so when I went to college, I was able to, back in the year 2000, that was before September 11 attacks, I was able to get a social security number as a student. So when I came back 5 years ago, I still had that social security number. I didn't have the card. I lost it. That was 20 years ago. I was a young kid. I was partying. I was having fun. I was in college. I wasn't even thinking about coming back to the US later on in my life. I was a kid. So I had the number in my mind. And when I came here, I wasn't able to work. And a friend of mine told me, like, hey, dude, there is Amazon Flex. There is another company called DoorDash. And you might be able to work with them, And I was like, because I tried to find a job here without the authorization card yet. But since I knew my social security number, I went to apply for a job. I'm a computer guy. I'm an IT guy. So I went to a computer shop and I tried to apply for a job, and they gave me a job, and I didn't even have a authorization card, and it was such a mess because they check in the system. There is a system called E-Verify. E-Verify will put in your social security number and will let you know, will let the employer know if that person is or not authorized to work. Well, in my case, the lady at the HR told me, like, you are a first for me because the system doesn't say that you are not authorized to work, but it doesn't say that you are authorized either. So at the end, after 3 months, they had to let me go. I figured that even if I had a social security number, I was not allowed to work under my condition. So the only option I had was the apps. And so I log in on DoorDash. sign up, putting my social security number, and surprise, surprise, boom, it went through. I was working legally on the apps for 150 days. After 150 days, I was authorized to work, and then I'm gonna be able to file my taxes that year legally because I got in the middle of it allowed to work. So that's how I applied that loophole in my advantage. Then the pandemic came over, so I was, pretty much banking like everyone during those times. It was kind of tough because I didn't know how to do DoorDash. I didn't have any idea about food delivery. I knew a lot of about technology and stuff, and I applied that in my advantage. But DoorDash, Postmates, Uber didn't let me work because I didn't have a driver's license for a year yet. But Lyft also was my very first 3 gig apps that actually fed my family for a year, for that first year when I didn't have any other opportunity of making money legally in this country. So what's going on right now, it's that most of the people that are coming to the States now, most migrants, they only want to do the apps. They don't want to do construction work anymore. They don't want to go to the orange farms here in Central Florida to work on that. Because, it's labor, it's hard work. So everyone knows about the apps now. Everyone that is coming to the States wants to be on DoorDash, wants to be on Uber. That's the thing, working on the apps. You don't have
Right,
a
that's a
boss.
drastic change. That's a drastic change because we all know that you can go by Lowe's or Home Depots or hardware shops, Ace Hardware, wherever it is. You got people standing outside. But now, like you said, the apps. I remember when I was doing rideshare and I was driving for Lyft. I spoke to a lot of drivers, and they were saying that, yeah, I can't work for Uber, I can't go do this and that, but they were actually able to work on Lyft and DoorDash. And I thought
Yes.
that was remarkable right there, that, they're able to work on Lyft and DoorDash. Now, you said coming over, that is the trend now because they know that they can get work. My question
Yeah.
for you is because of, social security numbers and your background checks, I do know, and we spoke about this briefly, the leasing or the renting of your DoorDash account. There are people that are renting out their DoorDash accounts and they are letting people
Yes.
drive so that they can make that money. I would like to know, how do you feel about the subleasing of the accounts, and if you think that that's having a huge impact on the American drivers who need to make money.
Listen, this is a very controversial subject nowadays. Even on the Latin or Spanish-speaking Facebook groups where I am, the Latin or Spanish-speaking people that are working legally here, the apps, are really upset about what's going on with the renting accounts. Because it's not only renting accounts nowadays. Now they're telling me that they have like a whole package ready for the migrant. They give you one account. You don't know what social security number you're going to be reporting those earnings to. So that's a red flag right there. Might be ID fraud. Might be, I don't know. That's going to be a mess, in my opinion, in a year or two when that pops up on the IRS. I already have screenshots. I have pictures that I have seen on the chats. I will probably share that later about what DoorDash is sending to those accounts that already generated earnings to a different social security number, because that's something that didn't really exist before, like a real match between your social security number and your full name and address. That was something that was just, for tax purposes, you just put your number. That's it, the number. Of course, you have to put in the name in your W-2s and 1099s, but these people are getting packages now with a rented account. They give you a rented car also, and that's it. Good to go. Go and drive. So the thing is that these guys have to pay around, that's what I have heard recently, $800 for a Spark account. $600 for a DoorDash account. Apparently, Spark has been really working hard on trying to fight the ID or illegal working thing, because Walmart is having a bigger issue also with products being stolen. And in Walmart, remember when you deliver DoorDash and you keep the food because you're a thief, you're keeping $80, $60, $40. But when you're keeping a 55, 70-inch TV or a MacBook from Walmart, that's a different story. So these guys are having now food packages for migrants. Yeah, I give you an account, I give you a card, and these workers have to pretty much pay $400, $500 a week for account usage and the car, and then you have to add gas. So you can imagine the type of pressure that these workers have when they have to pay rent, they have to eat, they need clothes, they have to pay the car. I bet you these guys are going to be taking every order. They're going to be taking every incentive, every streak, everything, because they need the money. And you tell me if that's not going to affect the rest of the people in the market. Of course it will. Of course it will. So this is something that we're not talking about. But in my opinion, the apps are the way of working illegally now in the States. It's the way. It's a perfect choice for DoorDash. They don't pay taxes. The driver is committing fraud. He's the one getting in trouble. They don't pay taxes. Nobody cares. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure they're going to start auditing more our taxes. Taking a look. Don't do anything stupid, everyone. Don't do anything stupid with your miles, with your taxes. Watch out, because I know this is going to become a mess. And when the IRS sees that there is money missing, we got a problem.
Right. Now let me ask you this. Obviously, you said there is going to be an issue. It's going to affect the American drivers. So you can be a citizen, a resident, or you can get deported. Obviously, if drivers are getting deported, it opens up more slots for drivers. But the other slots that open up, they can pay $800 and get filled in really quick. My thing is going on to the facial recognition. How has facial recognition impacted the migrants coming over and using these apps to get these jobs?
It is affecting the drivers. Actually, like I said, Spark, in my opinion, it's the number one working on the ID thing or facial recognition. I think it has to be related maybe because Spark now belongs to Walmart. So they're pretty much, taking care of their own platform, and they have to, because like I said, a driver for Spark has to be someone reliable. It has to be someone that you don't have to doubt that person is going to be grabbing items from the customer bags or stealing, high valued items. What was the question again? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
The facial recognition on
okay.
The impact on the migrants, who are coming over, the immigrants who are coming over,
yes,
are they getting deported also?
No, because see, there is something else for in the case of Venezuelans, there is now something called a TPS, temporary protected status, for certain people that qualify depending on when you arrive to the States and this and that. But a lot of them, like most of the Venezuelans, are having a TPS. For example, Nicaraguans have a TPS too. TPS protects you from being deported unless you commit a major crime, a murder or something like that. But you are not. When you have a TPS, you get permission to work in a few months after you do the paperwork. But that's the thing. Remember, when you come to the States, you have to deal with USCIS. And just to give you an idea, I was telling Robert about this. I have a family member that applied for asylum 10 years ago, and she still hasn't gone to court. So this is a slow process. This can be quick for someone, this can be very slow for someone, but 10 years can give you an idea of how slow can it be. I think the facial recognition at the end, it's gonna be the solution. I think DoorDash is not really interested in trying to solve that problem because they just want everything delivered. That's it. I think Spark has a different approach, but yes, I can tell you firsthand that Spark doing these updates have deactivated a lot of drivers, and that's the reason also why some people have been saying on Spark, "Oh, this week has been great," right after an update, because a lot of drivers are not able to log in. And what happens when you log in? It will trigger the facial recognition, right? If you do it and it says no, it is not. Even if you contact the account owner and you tell him to do it so you can log in again, when you log in again on your phone, it will ask you again for it. So there is no workaround. Of course, maybe there is going to be something that they will find, but they will patch again, I mean, at least we're working on it.
Right, right. Now, obviously, you said that the drivers who are the immigrants who are coming over, who are buying the accounts from $600 to $800, they're buying these accounts, and you said that they're taking every single order. I understand that yes, they are taking every single order, every single incentive, which would take you into Jeff Thomas Black speaking on people are app slaves. So right now we
Correct.
have immigrants who are coming over to do the working, and they have to be turned into an app slave, or they have to go back to where they came from. They have no choice but to be an app slave. And I thought that this was like remarkable that someone is willing to speak about it because this is where they came from, and this is
Yeah.
what they know. Now let's talk about this aspect. Now we know that all around the world, you name some countries. We got them in Central America, South America, Africa, in the Middle East. That come from all over. All right. Um, what are, from your understanding, now we want to talk about the impact of every single delivery driver where they live. What states and are, I'm pretty sure when someone comes from a different country, they let them know the states where many of the people are living in to kind of get them to go over there with them also. What states are many of the Venezuelans going into, or just south, or just not just Venezuelans, anything you know about immigrants? What states are they normal?
Well, listen, guys, I talk about Venezuelans a lot. Hold on. Are we okay?
Yeah. We're okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking, of course, a lot about Venezuelans because I'm from Venezuela. But I'm telling you, I heard the stories about some Venezuelans coming here. They came pretty much crossing the jungle through Colombia and Panama. A lot of them died in the jungle. It's a very very rough path to take, but they leave Venezuela, but when they get here, you have Honduras, Nicaraguans, Salvadorians, everyone. I mean, a lot of people are coming over. Of course, when they cross the border, like usually they did, what most people do is stay in either Texas or California. Those are the two, arrival points. Florida, of course, it's one of the favorite choices because a lot of people speak Spanish here. So a lot of migrants don't even know how to speak English. So they will prefer to be to feel a little local. However, there is a huge influx of drivers in New York. I think New York, it's like a whole different case. Like you can just do a channel about how the delivery situation is in New York right now because it's a mess. It's hard to get on schedule. Everyone wants to work on the apps. It's terrible. It's terrible. Plus, New York is very expensive. So I don't know how's that gonna play out. I'm really interested into talking about with someone from New York just to see how that is. But anyways, what I'm going to tell you also is that you cannot really say that because Texas is close to the border, or California, or because Florida is in the south, or it's where Miami or most of the flights come from Latin America. You cannot really say that these are the states where you have to avoid working on the apps, because people will realize that, you know, the market is oversaturated, and they will move. I mean, migrants, when they come in, they're flexible. They want to stay wherever, you know, they feel like they can make money, or they feel safer, or the weather is better, or whatever, you know. I have seen that the problem that I'm mentioning, it's slowly spreading around. So it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. I will say these states that I mentioned are like major for migrants, but the problem is going to be everywhere. Like I said, I think DoorDash, for example, it's so happy to have all this shit going on. And I'm sorry for the word, because like I said, they don't pay taxes. The driver don't pay taxes. And remember what happens to every driver when you sign up on the app. You pretty much, you don't know how to do it. Should I accept everything? Should I not? But most of the people, what do? They start accepting everything because they are scared of being deactivated or fired, or you don't know. So what does that mean for these apps? That they have a driver, a brand new driver that is going to take everything. He's going to pay his own taxes or get in trouble. I mean, this is beautiful for companies, you know?
Yeah, it's really beautiful for the companies because, you know, there's always a driver that's going to be willing to pick an order up. But here is what a lot of drivers here who cherry pick in the United States. They cherry pick. They're trying to use phone blockers to go ahead and get these large orders. It's like they're wasting their time trying to wait for these large orders when these other people are just accepting them and taking them like right when they come. So you're going to be sitting out there for a long time trying to wait for these unicorns and these big bangers that you think are coming in, because these drivers are out there taking them and they're getting them in. Now, obviously, if you live in an area, no matter where you are in the United States, and you see that there is a huge Hispanic population there, you can look at the Asian population, whether it be Cambodian, Vietnamese, different places like that. You now got to look at all those areas, people. When I was telling you guys that certain drivers make more money in certain areas because they are from where they are from, they can go make their money in little Haiti. They can go make their money in little India, because guess what? The people who they are delivering to, they understand what the struggle is. They're never going to turn on them or tell on them, but they'll also give them extra money to help them out. So I just want you guys to know that when I bring up the racial aspect when it comes into delivery driving, it's all the way there. And it's all the way there right now because we're speaking about immigrants and migrants, people. We get a lot of you drivers saying, I won't move my vehicle for this much money, but you got these people coming over here and they are doing it. So you are kind of putting yourself into your own misery. You're putting yourself into your own misery. Yeah.
And you have to add to that if these companies start using the acceptance rate as a tool to provide you with better offers or not, then the people that are accepting everything are the only ones that are going to be making money. So what's going to happen here? That the Venezuelans are now going to get all the money? Or we are going to be the hated ones because they have the LOPs and stuff? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. We know that DoorDash has tried to push the acceptance rate, the top dasher shit, but it hasn't been, in reality, it hasn't been in effect. We all know that top dashers get a lot of crap too. So we will have to see if DoorDash, the 3-tier program, really applies, which they can do because they can legally send you this or that. They're not doing anything wrong about it. I'm very interested to know how the Grubhub situation is. Maybe Ceci can help us out, but Ceci is in New York, and I am mentioning her because I was wondering today if maybe Grubhub is actually doing that tier thing properly, because on Grubhub, I have Grubhub on all the time, but I only see crap. I mean, I take one Grubhub maybe a week, maybe every 2 weeks, and that's it. Uber, I think they're still in diapers about the acceptance thing. I don't know. But my thing is that if acceptance rate is taking into play in the algorithm to send you better offers or not, the whole change about the gig economy or the whole thing, the whole game about the delivering food in the gig economy is going to change. It's going to change. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Now, because it's going to change, and I know it's going to change because of how we look. There is one thing you cannot stop here in America unless someone gets in office and stops it. There's no way from blocking anyone from coming in here to migrating over and becoming an immigrant. So as long as we have immigrants coming in certain areas, like let's look at like Houston. Houston has a huge Vietnamese population there, Filipino population there. You got certain areas to where these drivers are saying, man, I'm seeing these trash orders. You're not necessarily seeing trash orders. You're not getting it. Maybe that's why Gary Middleton, wanted to make the driver utility helper, because he did some research on the back end about the migrants coming over. So he tried to put it in so that you can receive orders faster, which might go into this. How does that translate into equal opportunity for drivers in the U.S. who are on these waiting lists, but you have people buying $600 and $800 accounts that comes with the rental car and everything? How does this translate into equal opportunity for the actual citizens? Now, I'm not saying like just like you're white or if you're African American, you're black. I'm
Yeah,
talking about people who are migrants who are citizens also, who are on waiting lists, and even they're losing the jobs because someone's selling the account.
exactly. I mean, the answer is right there, Robert. I mean, of course, there is going to be an effect because the person is, I mean, just by being on a wait list, you're already out of work for the moment because somebody else has already an account that maybe they're going to sell it, maybe they're using it, maybe they're renting it, but the account is there in the system. And this other person is unable to go and work because the other guy is renting that account. So tell me, how is that not affecting the market? Of course it is. Of course it is. And it's going to keep getting worse. Listen, right now in the United States, just recently, we surpassed, we are now, Venezuelans are the biggest community in the United States. The reason why I'm saying this is not because I am Venezuelan and I am proud of it, because actually I should be ashamed of it. That 7 million Venezuelans already left the country. But what I'm trying to say is that the gates at the border have been open for so long, and the influx of drivers, it's gonna keep increasing. I don't know. Were you guys listening to me? Was it you or me?
Oh no, StreamYard kicked me out, but I was listening. My wife has
Okay,
it playing for me
okay,
also.
okay, good. Yeah. So what I was saying is that the amount of drivers or the amount of people that just migrated to the U.S. in the last year, it's amazing. So the I am not saying this as trying to create FOMO or or fear or whatever, but this situation is gonna get worse. And I'm telling you, recently I have been delivering for some reason a lot to construction sites, home construction sites. Dude, there is almost no one working there. So I thought to myself, what is it? Is it that there is no work, or is it that there is no workers? Because everyone now wants to work the apps. And see, what we were talking about, like which states do you think is gonna get better or worse? Remember, this is a dynamic thing. The apps, give you the great advantage to work anywhere. So now you don't have to be tied to, oh no, I have to be in Florida because that's where my job is. When you have an app, you have your app. You just turn it on anywhere. So I think every area in the States is propense to be oversaturated by drivers and by people, trying to take advantage of others. See, the thing is that in Latin America we have something very negative sometimes, is that um, the Latin person many times try to take advantage of the other one. They try to be the smart one, the pulling the fast one, and that's something that we're not used to do here in the States. But All right, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I
Okay,
got
okay.
you.
My
You're all
bad, my
good.
bad. I had to. Picking up my son, being a dad. Anyway, what was I saying?
You were just
I
going off
forgot.
of man. I went to my settings to see if it was me while
Oh yeah,
you were
yeah.
doing that.
I got it.
You were yeah.
So
All right, go ahead because I
about
was about to fill you.
taking advantage. So what these guys are
Yes,
doing is that many Latin people are already taking advantage of the new guys that are coming over. How do they do it? Oh yeah, they know someone else. It's coming over. Oh, I'm gonna use my referral. I'm gonna sell him the account. I'm gonna do this. So it's all a game. Trying to take money from here or there. And dude, I'm like I said, I'm pretty sure this is gonna get tough unless the apps really explode and everyone starts using delivery for everything, for groceries, for food, for whatever. And there is so much work out there that the drivers are gonna be busy all the time. But I don't think so.
man, man. So that's I wonder how they're how this is affecting the car accidents and things like that with people working over at the they're getting in car accidents,
Yeah.
but because they buy an account, the car accident's not going on their record, so they can just buy another account and then go drive again with another rental car, and they are right back in the game right there. That's it's almost like you cannot stop it. I would like to know why is it that when we get these content creators and from the Pedros and everybody else, people in just a bit, we'll open it up so we can have some more dialogue for people to go ahead to click the link because I want to hear other people's ideas about this stuff that's right here. Um, I would like to know why these content creators, the major ones that we have, the Pedros, the everyone, whoever else it is. I would like to understand or know why they are not speaking about this when they speak about what things can impact the market. They never bring up the things that I'm bringing up that we are speaking about, and I wonder why is that. Do you think that some of these gig content creators are actually selling their accounts to make money? Do uh, do you think that we got some guys out there like that doing it?
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. For example, the Delivery TV, Luis Berti from Delivery TV, he's so against, put your seatbelt on, please. He's so against, these renting accounts and doing all this illegal stuff. I mean, he even says like on the lives, and I keep telling everyone to like, dude, don't go and rent an account. You don't know these guys. They don't even have a social security number yet, and they don't know the mess they're getting into. I mean, just imagine how are you going to go to a court in immigration and ask for asylum or ask for a citizenship or residence if you just committed ID fraud? I mean, how the heck do you want me to help you out if you are committing ID fraud? And these guys are committing ID fraud and they don't even know it. That's the worst part. They don't even know it. They're just driving, trying to make money because the app, But this is going to be a mess. In my opinion, this is concerning. And like you just said, for example, accident. Just imagine if I rent an account, I rent a car from someone. What happens if I get into an accident? What happens if, because I am from Venezuela and I like drinking and I had a couple of beers in my house, but then I had a loper show up on my phone, I went and delivered, and on the way back, boom, I hit someone and I had alcohol in my breath and I don't have a driver's license and I am on a rented account. Dude, over, you know? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're gone. Now, Jeff Thomas Black asked me earlier. He said, "Robert, what is so great or interesting about this interview that you're going to be doing?" And hopefully, you're getting it in right now, Jeff. That we're speaking about some real stuff right now that ties into the app slavery that you speak on. Now, when you hear that these migrants and immigrants they're gonna come and take every single order. That's the first sign of this new slave trade, correct?
Well, this has been happening. I mean, I think I first published stuff about this on Twitter about a year ago. You can find these ads like JP was talking about, advertising numbers that immigrants can call to start gig work. Here's the problem. We're gonna go always back to the foundation of the issue, because behind every AI system are human beings, right? And so behind the AI of Uber and DoorDash and Lyft are human beings that plan for this exact thing to happen. I've been writing for over a year that we are the new migrant laborers. They will have us in the fields picking apples and pumpkins and lettuce and everything else. They don't care. We have been sacrificed long ago, and now this opening of the gig economy corporate fraud, which is just pure labor laundering, right? They took all the rules for people working. They're used to have to check against an IRS database to get employment. And so now, instead of being checked against an IRS database that anybody is able to work, any person can take somebody else's uh, digital device and become that person and start producing work. It's all created for fraud. This was only innovated for fraud. Nobody, these are smart people. They didn't do this. This is not what you call like a negative externality. This is not something that just popped up and they went, oh shit, we didn't think of this. We didn't think that brown kids on bikes would take all the jobs once we sink the market so low that we can't afford to compensate people in their own cars, which was a great scam to begin with. But then you're just thrown out with the trash. You're just thrown out with the trash, with the immigrants, whatever else. And now that we know about AI technology, we know that it doesn't even face scan brown skin properly. Isn't that convenient? Y'all look alike, Robert. Don't say don't. You can tell him JTB knows it's a fact from an AI perspective. Y'all look alike. There you go. So AI is racist. So there you go. Do you want a racist system? Well, then employ a racist system. It's called AI. It's right here. It's right now. That's denying you medical care. It's getting people arrested. It's allowing people to work in other people's names. None of these issues is designed to be fixed, because this is the end of their scam where they run us into the ground. We're expendable fuel. Where do we go when they've taken all our work and given it either to immigrants or to AI? What's next? Where do we go from there?
Well, I was
I
gonna
guess
say
to the fields
this.
to pick the lettuce, right? Or you look good. I'm not very
Yeah,
good at picking lettuce. I'm too old.
yeah, but then check this out too. We got this from Cruise Dasher right here. Says my W2 restaurant, every order is being picked up with no tip. All right, so I would like to say that since they are doing that, they obviously know the stats from the migrants and immigrants coming in. So that's why I brought up the other day base pay versus total pay and what you see, and that's what you'll accept. They can absolutely go ahead and make it so it's no tips involved, and you're just gonna accept for what it is, and go from there. And they know these studies, which is why they put these things here. Which
But
is
it's bigger than
why
that,
I think
Robert.
they have the tier systems now. I think as a semi plot or ploy to say that we're doing something to fight up against that. But the default and the backfall of that is that the migrants and the immigrants who are coming over are going to be accepting every order anyway. So they're going to be at the highest tiers when the tier system comes out. So it's going to be based upon what the migrants are willing to accept over what everybody else here is doing, because like they say in America, we're spoiled.
Yeah. So here's the difference, though. Here's where I differ from you on that opinion. So I don't. I think that the migrants and us, I think JP and me and you are all in the same sewer together, living here, and the migrants are here with us too. We're just called the people. They're only migrants because our corrupt government who sold us out says they're migrants. They're our neighbors. They're just other fucking human beings. That's all they are. We can marry them, we can fuck them, we can have kids with them, we can not like them, we can do whatever we want with them. They're just human beings, just like us. We can play government, you know, when we're going like, well, you crossed our border, we deny your right to eat. Well, that just makes us assholes like those other guys. Here's the thing. We're all here and we're going to have to live or die as a people. That's going on right fucking now. And these guys absolutely know, these evil bastards that are behind the AI that is destroying humanity know that they're running us into the ground. They know that they're just going ever lower to brown kids on bikes, to immigrants, to homeless people, whatever, to replace. And then they'll just replace us wholesale if Tesla comes out with their new rideshare self-driving automobile. They know they're taking us down the path to short-term death, like in months to years. They're starving us out. They're denying us everything. So if we're going to go down in our genocide, let's not deny our own genocide while it's happening and point fingers at each other when this is the plan of gigantic corporations, all owned by the same oligarchs who want us dead. Like, why? We can't be that stupid that we don't talk to each other while we're in the trough going to get the bolt to our head. We can at least go like, hey, you know, we're getting the bolt to our head, right? And then you go, yep, I know.
Can you explain this,
like,
Jeff?
Good knowing
Can you explain this, Jeff? We got a lot of people out there that they ask me, what does he mean by death? He's always talking about death. Like, is he talking about they're gonna walk down the street with guns and shooters? Because some people think that they hear you doing your thing and they think that this is a smart, like, psychopath, scary movie murderer guy. He's talking about death and all this other stuff. Can you explain to them?
Like explain
to them what death
gonna
means.
come get them?
Yeah, explain to them what death means. That it's not physical.
Well, okay.
And we're gonna shoot you.
So death means that your body is no longer breathing, you no longer have a heartbeat, and you no longer show signs of life. So when I say we're all going to be dead, I mean that we're going to be fucking dead, that we're not going to be breathing anymore. We're going to be dead people who will have lived in the past, not the present. So the present is our time now. That's what death means. Now, in terms of why will we be dead? Well, the list is too big to name. Number one, they're starving us out. They're closing our stores. They're taking away our employment. They already took our money supply. Look, here's the deal. They have made us slaves in our own nation, and we literally are looking at each other. We don't know how to function. We're literally looking at each other and saying, look, if they take our app slavery away, how do we live? Well, how do you live? Just reopen the hardware store and throw Home Depot out. Just reopen your restaurants and throw McDonald's and IHOPs and all the other dog shit out, right? We are the slaves who are closing the door on our own cage for the rest of humanity. Listen, they're using AI right now. They've already used AI to deny us all jobs. That's what they do in the employment industry, is they use AI to filter out all your resumes so you guys end up here and desperate. Now they're filtering us out of this. They can filter us out of our home, out of our car insurance, out of our ability to drive. They can filter us out of our medical care, which the number one health insurance company in the United States is still using 90% faulty software to deny people health care. So the question, Robert, is really, how are they not killing us with AI right now? Not how will they ultimately kill us? How will it end? How will the world end? Well, if you
let's let JP answer that, because I saw him hop in and nod his head. He was agreeing with what you were saying right there, and he's smiling right now because he was agreeing.
Yes, I agree specifically on the part that he's saying that the AI it's filtering or denying your job application. That's very true. Actually, when you apply, you have a slight chance that your resume is being seen by a human, you know. And with the apps, talking about the apps, I feel sorry, you know, somehow that these apps, yes, they're giving an opportunity to make money to a lot of people, but on the other hand, you know, when we're talking about migrants, it's kind of sad to see that I see now engineers, architects, doctors delivering food. Why? Because that's all they can do. They have a degree, but they cannot perform any medical activity because they don't have, you know, the medical thing here in the States.
Yeah, the
cannot be
certifications in the state things
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
they cannot be an accountant here because they're not an authorized CPA.
But even
They cannot be
even
a lawyer, you know.
let's remember that this is a gamblified, rigged, artificial market from the beginning. Again, I'm going to say anybody that is out there that is doing corporate content for the gig economy on YouTube needs to stop their show immediately or switch over to covering AI, because they're just lying to everybody. We've put up with this long enough. Look, it is terrible to lie to other people. It is tragic to lie to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending that there is something real about the gig economy other than the fact that it is enslaving you to the point where you will soon be dead. They will take your jobs.
Well, look at these upside down orders.
Look
at the upside down orders, JP. Like, we got orders where we're seeing people saying, "Why are they sending me $7 for a 21-mile trip?"
Because
you know, we got people
that's
asking
slavery.
that, and
that's the definition of slavery.
And it doesn't make sense. They keep adding all these. Like I was saying, I mean, is it fair that a doctor, instead of being in the hospital looking at a patient, is actually looking at a phone, looking when is the peak pay gonna come on so they can log in? I mean, that's freaking sad. That's depressing. You know.
Well, listen, I have a master's in business administration from Duke University. How do you think I ended up doing gig work during the pandemic? Because of desperation. They prey on desperation. Why was I desperate? Because I'm not a corporate thief, and the corporate thieves don't like me. And so I didn't do well in the corporate world because I was an all-star performer, but I don't do fraud. Sucks for me, right? Because instead of being rich, I'm in the poor sewer with you, but I'd rather be in the sewer with you because I'm not a fucking lying con man. See, that's how it works. There's only a few people that won't sell out the human race for money. The rest of us end up here in the sewer because we, it's where we belong. And I don't come from money, and, Oregon ain't got no money anyway. But listen, man, we got to stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop immediately. Any of these content producers that are telling you how to work with algorithms and how Uber's going to change and what the next congressman's going to do, they're just selling you down the river. They're just selling you down the river. It's right now that we're fighting for the human race. And I prove it every day on my show if you don't watch. So, man, I don't know. It's just you guys are the heroes. That's the final part. It's not me. It's not Robert. Maybe it's JP. You guys are the heroes. The general public is the heroes because you guys are going to be the ones that are the slaves are either going to rise up and win for humanity against AI, or the slaves are going to capitulate and we're all going to get the bolt to the head. I can only teach you. I can't save you. You guys got to save us. You got to save me. You got to save yourselves.
On the other hand, this is going to be a slavery until they stop offering free delivery for everything, and until delivery is properly calculated, managed, when everything is just a business transaction.
That's never, JP. These are this is black box AI. They don't even control it. These things were built as fraud machines. The only thing we can do is turn them off and quit and start our own thing. That's the only way to win. We can't ever win this game, man. I keep telling you guys, you already lost. Like, there's nothing sadder than watching people play a game when they already lost. You guys already lost. Humanity already lost. Stop playing the AI. We lost. It's over. Now we got to fight for our lives. The DoorDash battle's over, man.
Check this out. We got a comment in here, and I put it up earlier. I think it was from the SP person. It said it was my first time here, and SP says, here it is. Here, let me go ahead and put it up. I didn't know there was a whole other side to this community. Yeah, this is the main reason why we have a news channel, so that you know that there is another side to this community. It's not always just pick up and drop off. You got to understand what's going on. You got to understand what the local city elections and things like that, how it's going to affect your market. There's a whole lot that goes on that a lot of people don't speak about, which is why you need channels like Hot Facts with Robert Reese, Jeff Thomas Black, and other channels that will allow you to speak about these things that they know about inside their head, but they don't want to speak about it because I guess they feel like they're going against. I don't know what they're going against when we're all people. You should be on the side of the people.
Well, we're going against the power elite. Look, the power elite of our little community here are the Pedros and the DoorDash, or the rideshare guy and Kim and Zach, people that have legacy businesses in this URUB community, they are the power elite. They have the viewers, they have the algorithms, they have the advertising dollars, they have the allegiance of the corporations that are selling us out. So now that's a real bad thing, Robert, because the preponderance of people that come into this community are going to see pure garbage from these human sellouts to the human race at what is very much now the end of the human race. And so what I'm saying is, we have to again take accountability in our own community and say no more. Anybody that's not talking about artificial intelligence and our ability to survive with or without the gig apps is not telling you the truth. If they're not dealing with this, they're just a bunch of sellouts and liars. Because Uber Jeep Arizona Jeff, who's a real driver, that's all he talks about. The real drivers in the community that watch this show, that watch my show, that watch Glitch Dash, that watch all the other shows, the real veteran drivers, this is all we talk about because we see it. We know it.
I got a question for the both of you
other
guys.
people are just con men.
I got a question for the both of you guys. Now, since obviously all three of us have agreed about there is slavery going on, we got people that say that this is crazy, you guys are ludicrous, there is no such thing as app slavery, we are not slaves. But obviously we're speaking about real things. We're given real situations. We got someone from Venezuela right here who came in under the way that that we're speaking about. Now, what about the people that say we're not slaves, it's money made, not a slave trade? What do you say to the people that says I'm choosing to go do 18 hours a day over it's a slave trade? Is it money made versus slave trade? Who wants to open up and go into money made versus slave trade?
Okay, so what I think in conclusion about this specific topic is that it's not only slavery. I don't like to use the word slavery because slavery is something that is being forced. In this case, it's not being forced. It's something. It's like a volunteer slavery, something like that. But anyways, there is another factor that I was actually I live that. It's the addiction to the apps. There is a point when because you try to learn the app, and there is a point where you find, oh, now I know how to make money, and you can't stop. I remember the first year I was here, there were some times where my wife told me, like, put your cell phone down and don't look at the DoorDash app anymore, at the map. I was looking at if it was busy or not. She was like, if we're gonna go out and eat, just stop trying to make money. Because every time I was going out, I was like, okay, if we're going east, let me see if I can take an order going east so we can make some money on the way. And then if we're going home, let me see if I can take an order. And she got to the point like, okay, stop. You're being addicted to making money. And I was like, I was refuting, because I was like, what's wrong with making money? I mean, it's money for the family, right? But there has to be a limit. There has to be a limit. And I became addicted to the apps. Now, I came to realize that the game wasn't going well all the time. It wasn't going to be like the pandemic all the time. And I have other skills. So I decided to look for a W-2 job. I was lucky to find something that I like and pays decent. And to be honest with you, now having the apps as side money, it's great. And it's like, that's why I understand why they always said the apps is for extra money. I can imagine me being a full timer right now with 2 kids and a wife, because I don't know, in Florida I cannot make it. I mean, I will be saying that I'm making money by putting miles on a car that I haven't paid off, and you know how that story ends. That ends being upside down, and to the point where when you have no car, there is no more money.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Jeff got a big Kool-Aid smile on. Like he got something to say. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and get it out. I know you got something to say on this.
Well, okay. So first of all, the reason that we're talking about every single thing that we've covered on the show today is that gig apps are isolated, disaggregated systems built for the exploitation of human beings and markets and businesses. That's all they are. So they have been exploiting us from the start, until now, they subtracted all of the risk from the corporate world, all of the loss, all of the obligations to do goodwill to the people doing the work, and created a thing called the gig economy, which does not exist. It's just the economy. They created this thing and they convinced people in poverty and desperation during a pandemic that they were independent because something is better than nothing. And it is true, I guess empirically, that something is always better than nothing. But if you're starving to death and you need $10 to pay your rent, and they offer you $2 instead of $1, it's still not going to save you from being homeless. And so something isn't always better than nothing if it doesn't cover your basic needs. And that's what people forget here, is that as we go down this ladder, lower and lower and lower into the sewer, and now we're all down here in the muck together, there's nowhere to go. We're mixed up with the people that used to be middle class. We're mixed up with the new immigrants coming in. We're mixed up with gangs and frauds and glitches and scams, because this whole thing is a fucking game. There are no rules. There are no rules. Imagine, a world where it wasn't illegal to rob banks, or imagine if we were all playing Grand Theft Auto. Well, DoorDash and Uber are just the little corporate versions of Grand Theft Auto. We're playing in them. We're the characters, but we're just carnage. We're just the carnage, and it's a game. And people think that it's real, just like people think that when they get health insurance, there's a real company there that's going to care if they live or die, or whether they get medical care in the hospital or not. That's not the case. They just feed it into AI. It spits out no, and your doctor comes back to the hospital and goes, well, no treatment for you. The insurance company said no, and AI is literally killing you. And so what we're doing, and we make these excuses like JP is doing. Well, it's only part-time work. Well, it's flexible. Well, I couldn't do it this way, but if I do it that way, um, the bottom line is that the majority of people doing it are being exploited to the point of slavery, of losing money and assets for their labor. There is no other way to classify an AI system that is driven to force humans to work at a loss other than app slavery. Anybody that denies app slavery has to define the way that you trick, gamblify, addict, and exploit humans into working for a loss. It's never happened before in humanity other than something called slavery. And you cannot explain to anybody with a brain how it is not app slavery today. And now, again, these companies are selling you out. Your government is selling you out. Everybody knows this is happening to you. I just read you an entire article from the foremost legal blog, stating that AI is racist in its facial scans, and that people are being arrested. Pregnant ladies are being arrested in their 8th month and being traumatized to the point of having false contractions because AI can't identify Black people. How much trust are you going to put in the people that are literally using this stuff to kill you? And
Let me ask you guys this.
there's no work left when this is gone. When they take this away, where do we go from here? We have nothing. So we got to build it before they screw us, Robert.
Right. Now, let's get into this right here. Both you guys are up here. I'm pretty sure. Well, I know Jeff knows about Dashing Trader. JP, you may know who Dashing Trader is. This gentleman here, US, gets deactivated from DoorDash more than anyone we know, and he always says, well, I'll just give me another account. I'm guessing, hypothetically speaking, he might know someone that's selling the accounts for $600, and he is on there. He's on there getting it in. Let's talk about Dashing Trader now. We got somebody else. We got somebody out there who is doing this, buying the accounts. Now, some would say because they are hearing and listening to someone that's a migrant or immigrant can come here and keep getting accounts. What if someone like Dashing Trader says, well, I'm gonna still drive because they can still drive? Is it wrong now that he is getting back on DoorDash after being deactivated and he could be possibly buying these accounts, is it okay for him to do it since we know that other people are doing it and that money source is there? So is it wrong to still tap into that money source, or do you let somebody else come and get it?
Well, I mean, I don't know how Dashing Trader is getting those accounts because I mean, I can tell you this. Listen, I have been deactivated from DoorDash. I had an LOP account. I had more than maybe 4,000 deliveries, everything in good standing. And I already had a W-2 job. So I was making DoorDash, I was using DoorDash maybe 2 times a week. And I'm telling you, no, like 2 deliveries a week, maybe. And I was only grabbing one LOP here and there. Well, one day, boom, I got an email like a week after my last delivery saying that I was deactivated for fraud activities. You know, like you know how that works? They never tell you the reason. I appealed, nothing. The thing is that back when I signed for DoorDash during the pandemic, people were drinking a lot of alcohol. And here in my market, I have a Total Wine delivery that was going to a specific area all the time. And there were like 2 or 3 orders that were going to that direction. And I was like, wow, how can I stack this? And I called DoorDash, I need to stack this. I mean, I'm going to the same direction. And they said, no, you cannot stack alcohol orders. Well, anyways, so I ended up opening another account. I opened 2 more with my social security number. So I had 3 accounts. I was stacking all those deliveries during the pandemic because back then, you know, I read the terms of service, and the terms of service said, oh yeah, you're allowed to subcontract your account. So I was like, well, maybe I'm not doing anything illegal. Anyways,
3 accounts. So you were stacking 3 orders. You were using 3 different accounts and stacking the orders so that you can go ahead and go. That's what the DoorDash
Correct.
revolution and I speak about. And people say that, no, there's no one doing that. No, we're telling you that.
Oh yeah,
this is what you can do.
Yeah, I was doing it with alcohol specifically because, you know, you're not going to be late with a bottle of alcohol. I mean, even if it is 10 minutes or 1 hour after that, what's the problem? You know, it's a scheduled Total Wine delivery. So that's what it was. But I thought I was not doing anything wrong. Anyways, I got deactivated from my main account. And the other 2 kept working. I wasn't really using the other accounts. I was using my LOP account. But then on my secondary account, I can't remember exactly. Oh yeah, I remember now. It was the ID. So they asked for my ID, and I was like, should I put my ID or not? Because I put my ID on the first account that got deactivated. Remember, when I signed for DoorDash, they were not asking for driver's license back then. Now it's that we have that. So after I scanned my driver's license, that got into the system, right? So then when I was gonna use my secondary account one day, it asked for my ID, and I scanned my ID, and boom, it matched, deactivated. And then with the third account, it was the same shit. They deactivated it right away. Right now, I have a DoorDash from my wife. You know, I haven't tried to sign in for DoorDash with my account. I'm gonna try again just to see what happens. Of course, I barely do DoorDash. The reason why I don't do DoorDash anymore is because I hate people hiding tips from me. I mean, I cannot work like that. You have to be transparent. This is a business for me. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to gamble to see, how much the guy was going to be. No. You have to tell me how much is it, how many miles, and then I'll decide if I do it or not, you know? So that's why.
Has your wife gotten like a contract violation or gotten something happen to her account because you were the one showing up? Like, you know, like it's your wife's name, but it's you showing up with a beard. Has that ever happened to where someone was expecting someone else?
No, because also when I sign her up, I use like a nickname that might look like a guy's name, so it's like a hybrid account, you know. But even if they deactivate it, I don't care. I don't care about DoorDash anymore. I fuck
that. All right, man. This has been interesting for a lot of you people that don't know. Let me go ahead and give you a little recap. We got into JP's story on how he came here, on how he became a DoorDash driver. He gave the ins and outs of immigration, and how it works before you can actually be able to work here. He went over all of that. We went over being a citizen, a resident, being deported, asylum workers going to separate markets, money made versus slave trade. We went into the facial recognition and counseling jobs. We went into, the equal opportunity for citizens, no matter what race you are. If you are a citizen, we went over that to see how this is going on. We went into people buying accounts on Walmart's part and other accounts, $600 to $800, getting a rental car, having you get up in there. We went over a lot. We went over slavery. Um, we went over a whole lot that a lot of content creators, hopefully, we get some people in their lives later on today, or we get some other content creators that will speak about some of these things, because there is no way to absolutely educate and teach people if you're really not breaking down the markets and everything that can happen in a market. You got to speak about
Yeah.
these things.
And
We went
there
over
is
all of this. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
Robert.
JP.
there is
Oh,
something else that I wanted to add, that I think, in my opinion, what's going on right now, like for gig workers, how do you make money right now? How do you take advantage of this? What I see that is going on right now is that there is so many apps. So the only way that you can really take advantage of the situation is trying to sign up as early as you can, because that app is gonna get flooded somehow. They're gonna say they're gonna make YouTube videos, they're gonna mention it, and then this one is gonna get, and then everyone is gonna jump to the next one.
yeah.
And it's a game, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just jumping through catering apps. I'm not doing DoorDash anymore. This is paying a little bit more.
But
It's less offers, but I know this is gonna die as soon as all the migrants find out. Oh yeah, now it's not food
this
delivery,
is
it's catering.
this is all part of the same pyramid scheme. Now, here's Robert, the question that you asked is such an important one about Dashing Trader, about people using different people's apps. I made this point about the glitch a while ago, and if people are tuning in, if you don't know what the glitch is, the glitch was something. It was a secret among creators that allowed them to manipulate one of the
Pardon.
statistics that could help them in the game or help them in broadcasting. But what it mostly proved is that this is all a simulation, right? This is all fake. This is a simulation. None of the statistics are real. None of the metrics are real. None of the markets are real. We're all just being exploited in a simulation by these gig apps. So that being the case, I cannot in any way, shape, or form argue with somebody like Dashing Trader, who has from the start said that this is a game and he plays it with every single account and every single trick in the book, because he's doing what game theory would demand any rational human being do, which is to play the game to win. If you're not playing the game to win, if you know a glitch and you're not using it, you're playing the game to lose. Now, if the problem we had with the glitch was that content creators were playing the glitch and not telling people, they were lying to them about the opportunities. That made them terrible people and liars. And they live with that cross that they have to bear today about whether we ever trust them again or not. But what the glitch proved, again, isn't just who the liars are, but it proved that this is all a game. It's all rigged. And anybody who is ostensibly winning is only winning because they're rigging the game, only winning because they're using one of the tricks. And I'm not going to blame people in a rigged game. This is a gamblified rigged game. How am I going to blame Dashing Trader or an immigrant or anybody else for jumping into this rigged game and playing it to win the best they can? Because this is just pure chaos. Anybody thinks this is a real market that would be fair if not for immigrants, or a real market that would be fair if not for new drivers that took bad offers, or a real market that would be fair if not for miserable non-tipping customers, right? Anybody that thinks this market would work if not for X is just lying to themselves. And so this Pedro rage porn and these other content producers that just continually point out how miserable they are and whether they're succeeding today or not succeeding, or whether it's opportunity or flexible or not, or whether it's part-time or full-time. They're just waving their hands around. They're not doing anything. This is all rigged. How many ways can you be told that this is an addictive, rigged game and keep trusting it? And this is the problem with humanity. This is why the singularity works. This is why we're getting buried by AI, because even when we have the truth before our very eyes, we don't want to see it anymore. We don't want to see it anymore. We still would rather look at Pedro and his pretty Jesus hair and think it's all going to be okay. Mr. Bet on You says that there's opportunity in here somewhere. Under all this crap, there's opportunity somewhere. There's not. The opportunity here is to save ourselves by turning off all this crap, listening to Uber Jeep Arizona Jeff and other people, Glitch Dash, other people that say this is a labor revolution, because it's a labor revolution for our lives. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't fault anybody from playing this game to win, that's playing it to win, but don't blame the victims. Don't blame immigrants. Don't blame new drivers. Don't blame cult victims of Pedro. Don't blame anybody else. Blame only the perpetrators, which are the evil people that loosed this AI upon us and told us that it was work, when really it was the end of our work. It was the end of our utility to the corporate world. And when we're no longer having any utility for the corporate world, that just means that we're all dead people. They'll just figure out a way to kill us real fast. They're already working on it. So
remember, those rewards program are not there to reward the best dasher, are to reward the best slave.
That's right. It's all, everything in this entire game that's been presented to us is created to addict us, to trigger us, to gaslight us, and to work us down to nothing. And anybody that can
quit
stand
blaming
up,
the customers. They need to quit blaming the customers. Now that we broke all this down, quit blaming the customers. The customers
they're gonna get people killed, Robert.
The customers is just playing the game on their end. Yeah, the customers are saying, well, I'm gonna play the game right here. Look, if I ain't gotta leave a tip and this all the money I got, I'm still gonna order the food. Somebody's still gonna drop it off. Quit getting mad at them for playing the game.
Thank you, Robert. You just said the magic words. The customers and the restaurants are being game too. And so when idiots like Pedro are spreading their hate and fascism and Nazism and dehumanization in the world, when idiots like Pedro, who doesn't even have the courage to come up here, are spreading their hate against the human race, they're going to get people killed. They're going to get people killed because they're spreading a false narrative that it's consumers against workers against restaurants. It's not. We're all on the same page. We just got disaggregated in a artificial intelligence simulation. We got disaggregated, blown apart, and set against each other as false rivals. And we're idiots. We're idiots because we listen to people like the rideshare guy and Pedro and all these people who don't talk about artificial intelligence, which is and will kill us.
All right, now, people, look, we've been on for 2 hours and 9 minutes. I let it go on a little longer than what it was. We're going to be closing this down. I want to thank JP for coming on and conducting this interview.
Thank you, JP. Much respect, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
I said I wanted to open it up at the end just to get some intellectual insight from some other people who may have some input. And right on cue, Jeff Thomas Black is not shy to go ahead and speak his mind and put it out there. So I thank you also, Jeff Thomas Black, for coming on in. What I do right now, JP, is I do the final words. You kind of give your final thought or your final words, give a message out there to the people that's watching you right now.
Yeah, well, just guys, keep in mind that whenever you see a migrant trying to make your deliver or trying to grab a delivery right next to you, that person is just trying to make ends meet like everyone else, you know. Maybe they have a rented account, maybe they don't. Don't judge. You don't know what the needs of other people are. Respect always. If you see, I used to make fun of top dashers, for example. Now I just stay quiet because I understood that the business is different for everyone.
Right.
I will also want to say that, yes, like I told JTV, these tier programs are just trying to game you into accepting more trash. Don't fall into it. Remember, we have to use the apps to our advantage and not let the apps use us. That's it.
Yes, sir. Those were some great final words right there, people. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with mine myself. Always think about everything. Never close off your universe, because some of the things that you were closing off should be things that you should be paying attention to. When you get information, you hear different things come out that you normally don't. Keep your ear open. You could be learning something that could be helping you out monetarily. It's going to benefit you in a way, and whatever you don't need, just let it fly on by. Let it fly on by. I want y'all to go ahead and send some love out, some prayers out for my mom. She had to do a surgery this morning because of how many operations and things she has. Her veins are not strong, so they have to go ahead and put a stent there so that they can go in, so that she can get the stuff done. Go ahead and do that. They increased her chemo also. Give some love out there for John George Hulk Smash. He's got a sister out there facing some serious issues. Give some love out there for TFT and his wife. His wife is in the facility still, doing the rehab. She should be out, he says, in a couple weeks. Give her take on how it's going. Send some love out there for that. Send some love out there to the DoorDash Revolution. He's got family members doing some stuff. He's also a minister. People, if you need something done, he can go ahead and talk to you in the right way. Big shout out to Uber Jeep AZ. He's over there doing his thing. And a big shout out to my wife, who is my assistant, Team Hot Facts. And I thank for everyone who has stopped by. Eric, thank you for stopping by. Glad to see you here.
Before I go, man,
NICSBI guy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Shout out to everybody.
Through the tough situation. I'm pretty sure everything is gonna be all right, man. Prayers. All right. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, man.
I'm about to go, and I am so glad to have these conversations that are other than drama. It's not only drama. It's we're normal people with normal brains that have stuff to say too. So let's do it. Let's do it more often, man. Let's talk about this stuff.
Yes, sir.
Take care, man.
Yes, sir. I would love to have you on all the time. Thank you for stopping by. People, show some love for JP. Tell him hi whenever you see him on the panel.
By the way, I have a project for this weekend. Maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. So I was able to put this old car on the this is a Prius, a 2009 Prius. I was able to put it as Uber for passengers. So so since many of you guys know, I stopped drinking a few months ago, and I have been enjoying non-alcoholic beers, right? So because of it, I thought, well, what if I, on the weekend, just fill up a cooler with non-alcoholic beers and go through the bars, picking up passengers and offering them non-alcoholic beers as a souvenir in the car, just to see how the tips go and have fun. And I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, that's a good idea. I gotta answer one question before I head on off. Is it Nick CB guy? If that's your name, hopefully I did not blunder that too much. He says, when is episode 9 with Eli? People, Hot Facts and Eli, people, episode number 9. People, it is tomorrow. It is going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Depending on where you are, Central Mountain, you're 1 hour ahead or you're 2 hours up. And if you're in Alaska, you're 1 hour back of us right here in California. But Hot Facts and Eli episode number 9 is tomorrow. Make sure you tune on into that. It's going to be a great one. Like I said, you never know what we're going to be talking about. Eli said specifically that he has things that he wants to speak about, and I know that I have some. So we're gonna go back and forth, people, and give you guys a great show. Once again, thank you to JP, and I hope you guys got some valuable information and news out of this. It always is when you get people on you normally don't speak to or hear from. Without being said, we're out of here like Tuck Woolery in 2 and 2. See you guys later.